Welcome to Greatest Stories Never Told. I'm excited to share 11 short, heartwarming tales, each just 4 to 7 minutes long. These aren't just fun stories, they're packed with gentle life lessons about kindness, courage, curiosity, and more. If you enjoy meaningful storytelling, hit subscribe and let's dive in. Bruno and the Forest of Lost Things. Bruno was a young bear who loved finding things. He collected shiny rocks, colorful leaves, and funny-shaped sticks. But one day, something happened in his village. The wind blew wild and strong, carrying away everyone's special things. The rabbits lost their toy balls, the squirrels lost their acorns, and the birds lost their colorful feathers. The village became quiet. Everyone was sad. Bruno wanted to help. "I will find all the lost things," he said bravely. The elder bear shook his head. "The wind has taken them far into the forest of lost things. No one dares to go there." But Bruno stood tall. "I will go," he said, "even if I'm scared." The next morning, Bruno packed a bag with honey cakes, berries, and a warm scarf. His friends gave him hugs. "Be careful," they whispered. Bruno walked into the dark, twisty forest. The trees were tall, and strange noises echoed around him. Soon, Bruno found his first clue: a red feather stuck on a bush. "That must belong to the birds," he said. As he reached for it, a buzzing sound filled the air. Out flew Busby, the giant bee. "Why are you here?" Busby buzzed. "This is my forest now." Bruno's paws shook, but he stood tall. "I need to collect the lost things and bring them home." Busby laughed. "If you want the feather, you must pass my test. Find me the sweetest flower in the forest." Bruno agreed and carefully searched the nearby meadows. He sniffed and tasted many flowers until he found a soft, golden one with a sweet smell. Busby tasted the flower and smiled. "You may keep the feather." Bruno thanked him and continued his journey. Soon, he found a shiny marble floating in a pond. It belonged to the rabbits. But guarding the pond was Tessa the turtle, who loved shiny things. "You may not take the marble," she said slowly, "unless you bring me a round pebble just like it." Bruno searched the riverside and the paths until he found the perfect pebble. Tessa smiled. "You may take the marble." Bruno placed the marble in his bag. As he walked deeper into the forest, the trees grew darker. Strange shapes moved in the shadows. Bruno's paws shook, but he said, "I don't know if I am strong, but I know I can try." The wind spirit laughed softly. "You are brave, little bear, but you must prove your heart." The wind spirit's voice faded into the breeze. Bruno took a deep breath. The real test was just beginning. Bruno stepped closer to the pile of lost things. The wind spirit's voice filled the cave again. "If you wish to return these treasures, you must pass 3 challenges." Bruno nodded. "I'm ready." A long, thin log stretched across a rushing river. The wind blew hard, trying to push Bruno off. walk across," said the wind spirit. Bruno's paws wobbled, his heart raced, but he remembered what his grandma always said, one careful step at a time. Slowly, Bruno crossed the bridge. The wind pushed, but Bruno kept his balance. When he reached the other side, the wind spirit whispered, "You are steady." Next, Bruno found 5 big stones, each with a strange shape. He had to stack them to reach a golden feather. The wind spirit blew gently, making the stones shake. Bruno tried again and again, carefully building the stack. Finally, the stones stood tall, and Bruno grabbed the feather. "You are patient," said the wind spirit. For the final test, the wind spirit said, "You may choose only one thing to take home. What will you choose?" Bruno's eyes filled with tears. He wanted to take everything home. He thought and thought. Finally, Bruno said, "I choose the toy rabbit. It belongs to my friend Finn. He misses it the most." The wind spirit blew softly. "You could have taken the biggest treasure, but you chose what mattered most to your friend. That shows you have a big heart." The wind spirit swirled around Bruno. "I will return all the lost things to your village. You have passed the test." The pile of toys, feathers, marbles, and acorns lifted into the air and flew gently back toward the village. Bruno smiled, holding the toy rabbit close. When Bruno returned home, everyone cheered. "You did it!" his friends shouted. Bruno gave Finn his toy rabbit. Finn hugged it tight and whispered, "Thank you, Bruno." Bruno and the Echo. Bruno the bear loved exploring the forest. One day, while looking for shiny stones, he heard something strange. "Hello?" a voice called. Bruno looked around. "Hello?" he answered. "Hello?" the voice said again. Bruno's eyes grew wide. "Who's there?" he asked. "Who's there?" the voice repeated. Bruno wasn't sure if it was a friend or a trick. He followed the sound and soon found a big dark cave. "Hello," Bruno called. "Hello," came the answer. Bruno stepped inside. His paws made soft crunches on the cave floor. "Come play," Bruno said. "Come play," the voice said. Bruno smiled. He thought someone was waiting for him. But no one was there, just the sound bouncing back. Bruno sat down, feeling a little lonely. Then he heard small footsteps. It was Lily the squirrel. "Bruno, why are you talking to a cave?" she giggled. "There's someone in there. They keep saying what I say," Bruno said. Lily smiled. "That's an echo. It's just your voice bouncing back." "Oh." Bruno's ears drooped. He thought he'd made a new friend. Lily sat beside him. "Do you want to play with me instead?" Bruno's face brightened. "Yes, please." They played hide and seek, picked berries, and watched the clouds together. Before they went home, Bruno stood by the cave one more time. "Thank you, Echo," he said. "Thank you, Echo," the cave replied. Bruno chuckled. "Even echoes can make you smile." Lily giggled too. Bruno learned that sometimes what we think is far away is really just our own voice. But true friends are always nearby. That night, Bruno curled up in his cozy bed. His heart felt warm, knowing that real friends don't just answer back, they stay with you. Milo and the Whispering Shell. In the seaside village of Driftwood Bay, there lived a young turtle named Milo, who was afraid of the ocean. "Yes, I live by the sea," he'd say, "but that doesn't mean I have to swim in it." While his friends raced the waves and played with dolphins, Milo stayed safely on shore, stacking pebbles and drawing in the sand. One evening, while walking along the beach at sunset, Milo heard a soft voice calling, "Help, help me." He looked around. No one. Then he spotted it, a shimmering seashell, half buried in the sand. It was glowing faintly, and when Milo pressed it to his ear, "Help me," the voice whispered again. "I am trapped, far beneath the coral cliffs." Milo gulped. That was deep in the ocean, and he was still scared of swimming. But the shell grew warm in his flippers. "Someone needs me," he whispered. And with one deep breath, Milo did the bravest thing he'd ever done. He stepped into the water. At first, the waves were wild and wobbly. Fish zipped past, bubbles tickled his nose, but Milo kept going, guided by the whispering shell. As he dove deeper, he met Luma the lanternfish, who lit up the dark caves and showed Milo how to see through fear. Tico, the talking crab, who helped him cross a thorny coral maze, a school of jellyfish who taught him to float, not fight, when he felt overwhelmed. Each one gave him a piece of courage, and the shell glowed brighter each time. Finally, Milo reached the coral cliffs. Trapped in a tangle of seaweed was a baby seahorse, frightened and crying. The whisper had come from her. Using his small but strong flippers, Milo carefully freed the seaweed. The seahorse blinked up at him and smiled. "You came all this way for me?" she asked. "I did," said Milo, surprised. "I guess I'm not scared anymore." With the seahorse safe on his back, Milo swam toward the surface. The ocean didn't feel so big now. It felt full of friends, light, and quiet strength. When he returned to the beach, all his friends were waiting. They cheered as he stepped from the water. "You swam through the coral cliffs? You? That's amazing." Milo smiled and gently placed the whispering shell on a rock. It no longer glowed. It had done its job. The next morning, the shell was gone. Some say the sea took it back. Others say it waits for the next brave heart. As for Milo, well, let's just say the ocean isn't so scary anymore. In fact, he swims in it every day. Milo and the Pebble. Milo the turtle Love collecting pebbles. Big ones, small ones, shiny ones. He kept them all in a tiny bag on his back. One morning, while walking by the river, Milo found a pebble he had never seen before. It sparkled in the sun and felt warm in his hand. "This is the perfect pebble," Milo said. He carefully placed it in his bag. As Milo walked home, he met Penny the penguin. "Hi, Milo. I lost my skipping stone. I can't play without it." Milo thought of his shiny new pebble. He really wanted to keep it. But Penny looked so sad. Slowly, Milo took the pebble from his bag. "Here, you can use mine." Penny's face lit up. "Thank you, Milo. You're the best." Milo smiled. The pebble made Penny happy, and that made Milo feel good inside. Later, Milo found Toby the turtle sitting by the stream. "My lucky pebble rolled away. Now I'm too scared to cross the water." Milo thought again. His bag was empty now. But then he remembered something. Kindness is better than keeping. Milo gave Toby another one of his favorite pebbles from his pocket. "You can borrow this," Milo said. Toby smiled and safely crossed the stream. As Milo headed home, his bag felt lighter, but his heart felt full. When he reached his favorite tree, he found a small pile of colorful pebbles waiting for him. Penny and Toby had left them there as a thank you. Milo giggled and carefully placed them in his bag. He learned that sharing brings more happiness than keeping everything for yourself. That night, Milo tucked his pebbles under a leaf and fell asleep with a big, peaceful smile. Fox and the Star Map. In a quiet village, nestled between tall, whispering trees, there lived a curious little fox named Luna. Unlike the other foxes who played in the fields and napped in the sun, Luna had one big dream. She wanted to touch the stars. "But stars are too far away," said the wise old owl. "That's why I'm going to find a way," Luna whispered, tucking her tail under the moonlight. One night, while exploring a cave she had never noticed before, Luna found something glowing beneath a pile of old leaves. It was a sparkling map, a star map, and next to it, a note. "Follow the stars, and you'll find your heart's true light." Luna was off. She packed a tiny backpack with berries, a scarf, and the star map, and trotted toward the mountains, where the first star on the map shined. Along the way, she met Finn, the forgetful frog, who lost his way in the mist. Luna shared the map's light with him, helping him hop home. Mira, the moody mole, whose tunnel had collapsed. Luna used her paws to dig through and help Mira out. Gus, the grumpy goat, who blocked the bridge. Luna offered him some berries and made him laugh by tripping over her scarf. He let her pass with a grin. At every stop, Luna helped others, even when it slowed her down. The star map glowed brighter each time she did something kind. Finally, she reached the top of the mountain, where the last star hovered just above her nose. She stood on her tiptoes, reached up, and whoosh, a swirl of stardust wrapped around her, lifting her into the sky. The stars weren't just watching her, they were guiding her. Just as Luna floated higher, her star map unfolded once more. A new path appeared, glowing in silver light, leading to a faraway place labeled the Moon Garden. Only the bravest may enter. Luna gasped. "A new journey," she whispered. And then, poof, she disappeared into the sky. Will Luna reach the Moon Garden? What secret does it hold? Luna, the little fox, soared through the sky, wrapped in silver stardust. Below her, mountains became pebbles, rivers turned to ribbons, and clouds danced around her paws. Clutched tight in her teeth was the glowing star map, which now pointed to a place few had ever seen. She landed softly on a path made of starlight. Giant petals shimmered like glass. Trees hummed lullabies. In the center of the garden stood a glowing gate made of silver vines. Etched into it were words. Only the kindest hearts may enter. Luna stepped forward, but the gate did not open. "Why won't it let me in?" she whispered, ears drooping. Just then, the wind swirled and the star map floated from her paw. It opened on its own and began to sparkle. One by one, tiny glowing images rose from it. Finn, the frog, Mira, the mole, Gus, the goat, all the friends Luna had helped on a journey. Their voices echoed gently in the air. "You helped me find my way. You gave me hope in the dark. You showed me laughter and light." The gate began to glow. The silver vines untangled themselves and slowly opened. Inside, the moon garden sparkled like a dream. Flowers sang softly, stars floated in puddles like fireflies, and at the very center was a moon tree, whose branches shimmered with galaxies. Luna approached the tree and found something nestled beneath it. A tiny starseed. A voice, warm and clear, filled the air. You have proven brave and kind. Take this seed, Luna, and return home. Wherever it grows, light and wonder will follow. Luna gently picked up the star seed and closed her eyes. Poof. She was back in her village, standing in the same quiet field under the same starry sky. Luna planted the seed in the middle of the meadow. She didn't know what would grow. But that night, as the village slept, something magical began to happen. A glowing vine sprouted and curled toward the stars. It shimmered with all the colors of kindness, courage, and dreams. Every fox, frog, mole, and goat in the land came to see the tree that grew from a single act of kindness. And Luna? She never tried to touch the stars again, because now they were blooming right in her own backyard. Penny the Penguin and the Missing Colors. Penny was a curious little penguin who lived in a snowy village by the sea. Every morning, the sky would glow with bright pinks, oranges, and blues. Penny loved to watch the sunrise. She called it the sky's song. One day, Penny woke up and saw something strange. The sky was all grey. The colors were gone. The sea looked dull. The ice looked plain. Even the sunrise didn't shine. The village animals were worried. What happened to the colors? They asked. Penny went to see Grandpa Gull, the oldest bird in the village. The keeper of colors must be asleep, Grandpa Gull said. Without her, the sky cannot shine. Where is she? Penny asked. She lives on Rainbow Peak, beyond the icy caves. It sounded far and cold, but Penny's heart was brave. I'll find her and bring back the colors. She packed a warm scarf, some fish cakes, and her lucky shell. Along the way, Penny met a baby seal named Sam, who was stuck in the snow. Can you help me? He cried. Penny pulled and tugged until Sam popped out. Thank you, said Sam. If you need help, call for me. Penny continued through the icy caves. The wind was loud and the tunnels were dark. But she kept going. Soon she reached a frozen river. The ice was thin. A polar bear cub was afraid to cross. I can't do it, he said. Penny smiled. Let's go together, one careful step at a time. Slowly, they crossed the river. Thank you, said the polar bear. Call me if you need me. Finally, Penny reached Rainbow Peak. There, sitting on a cloud, was the keeper of colors, a glowing bird with shining feathers. Why is the sky grey? Penny asked. The keeper sighed. I dropped my color gems in the snow. Without them, I cannot paint the sky. Can I help you find them? Penny asked. The keeper smiled. If you wish. Penny looked high and low, but the snow was thick and the gems were hard to find. She called for Sam the seal. "Let's dive and check under the ice," he said. Together, they found the blue gem. Penny called for the polar bear cub. "Let's lift these heavy snow piles," he said. Together, they found the orange gem. Penny searched carefully and found the pink gem hidden near the clouds. She gave all the gems to the keeper. The keeper of colors flew high and painted the sky once again. The pinks, blues, and oranges filled the air. The sunrise sang its bright song. The sea sparkled. The ice shone. The whole village cheered. "You did it, Penny," they said. Penny smiled and whispered, "One small penguin can bring back big colors." Moral of the story: even small helpers can make a big difference when they are kind, brave, and never give up.
Ellie and the Missing Rainbow.
Ellie was a little elephant who loved colors. She loved red flowers, yellow birds, green trees, and a beautiful blue sky. But most of all, Ellie loved rainbows. Every time it rained and the sun came out, Ellie would run to the hill to see the rainbow. But one morning, something was wrong. The rain had stopped. The sun was shining, but there was no rainbow. Ellie's ears drooped. "Where did it go?" she whispered. Just then, she heard a soft sound coming from a puddle nearby. "Help! Help me!" Ellie looked closer. In the puddle, a tiny drop of color was floating. "I'm part of the rainbow," it said. "We've all gone missing. A strong wind blew us far, far away." Ellie's eyes grew big. "I'll find you. I'll bring the rainbow back." So, Ellie packed a small bag with bananas and water and set off on her colorful adventure. First, Ellie followed a trail of red petals. In the forest, she found the red part of the rainbow, hiding behind a big rock. "I got scared when the wind blew," said Red. "It's okay," Ellie smiled. "You're safe now." The red light floated into Ellie's bag. Next, she followed a path of yellow leaves. She found the yellow part of the rainbow stuck high in a tree. Ellie gently shook the tree until Yellow floated down. "Thank you," said Yellow, glowing softly. Then, Ellie followed a small stream until she found the blue part, resting in the cool water. "I was too far to come back," said Blue. "Don't worry," said Ellie. "I'll carry you." One by one, Ellie found the missing colors: orange, green, and purple, all waiting to be found. When Ellie had collected all the colors, her bag began to glow. The tiny colors floated up into the sky. They spun around and around until, whoosh, a bright, beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky. Ellie laughed and clapped her feet. "You found us," whispered the colors. "Thank you for not giving up." The rainbow shone brighter than ever. From that day on, whenever Ellie saw a rainbow, she smiled and whispered, "I'm glad you're home." Sometimes things we love go missing. But if we are patient, kind, and don't give up, we can help bring them back. Olive the Owl's Journey. Olive was a little owl who loved to stay up late. While others slept, she sat on tall branches and watched the quiet forest. One night, Olive saw something special. The stars in the sky began to fall. Streaks of silver and gold raced across the dark sky like magic. But when morning came, the forest animals were worried. "Our wishes didn't come true," said Benny the Beaver. "We made wishes on the falling stars, but nothing happened." Olive wanted to help. She flew to the wise pine tree who had seen many nights. "The stars did not land in the right place," the wise pine said. "They are stuck in the whispering caves." "If I bring them back," asked Olive, "will the wishes come true?" "Yes," said the pine, "but you must be careful. The caves are tricky and full of echoes." Olive was nervous, but she wanted to help her friends. She flew across rivers and over tall rocks until she reached the dark caves. Inside, Olive heard voices. "Turn left," said one. "Turn right," said another. The caves were full of confusing sounds. Olive remembered what the wise pine said. "Follow your own quiet voice." So she sat still and listened carefully, not to the loud echoes, but to her own calm thoughts. Step by step, she followed her heart. Soon, she found the silver and gold star pieces resting on soft moss. As she gently picked them up, the caves whispered, "You are small. You cannot carry them." Olive smiled. "I can carry them little by little." So she made many careful trips. On her way out, she met Milo the mole, who was lost. "I can't find my way," he cried. Olive didn't leave him behind. She flew above and guided him safely out. When Olive returned, the animals cheered. The stars rose back into the sky, and that night their wishes sparkled bright. "You did it, Olive," said Benny. "I just took small steps and listened to myself," Olive said, happy and calm. From that day on, whenever animals felt lost or unsure, they would ask Olive for help. She always reminded them, sometimes the quietest voice is the one you need to hear. Moral of the story: listening to yourself and going step by step can help you find the right way, even when things seem confusing. Lila and the Secret Song. Lila was a small fox with a big love for music. Every morning, she woke up to the sound of the forest's magical song, a soft, sweet melody that made the trees dance, the flowers bloom, and the rivers sparkle. The whole forest loved the song. It made the days bright and the animals happy. But one morning, Lila woke up and heard silence. The magical song was gone. The birds were quiet. The flowers drooped. The rivers no longer sparkled. Without the song, the forest felt cold and grey. Lila's heart sank. She asked the elder owl what had happened. The owl said, "The song keeper's flute has been lost. Without it, the song cannot return." "Where is the flute?" Lila asked. "It has been taken by the misty mountain," the owl whispered. "No one dares to go there." Lila's tail trembled. She was small. Misty Mountain was big. But she said softly, "I will go. The forest needs the song." The elder owl nodded. "Follow the silver path and be careful. The mountain tests everyone." Lila packed a small bag with nuts, berries, and her mother's red scarf. She waved goodbye to her friends and set out toward Misty Mountain. The silver path was long, the wind was cold, but Lila kept walking. Along the way, she met a group of squirrels trying to move a heavy log. "Please help us," they cried. Lila pushed and pushed until the log rolled away. "Thank you," the squirrels cheered. "If you need help, call for us." Lila smiled and walked on. Further up the path, she found a pond where a young deer was stuck in the mud. Lila carefully pulled and tugged until the deer was free. "Thank you, Lila," the deer said. "If you ever need me, call my name." Lila kept climbing. As the mountain grew steeper, she found a cave filled with glowing stones, but blocking the cave was a fox made of mist. "I am the guardian," the mist fox whispered. "To find the songkeeper's flute, you must pass 3 trials." Lila's heart beat fast, but she stood tall. "I will try," she said. The mist fox's eyes sparkled. "We shall see." The mist fox led Lila into the glowing cave. "Your first trial," the mist fox said, "is the trial of sound." In the cave, there were dozens of hanging chimes. When the wind blew, they made beautiful music. But the mist fox warned, "Only one chime plays the true note. Find it, or the path will vanish." Lila listened carefully. Some chimes rang too high, some too low. Then she heard a soft, gentle note, just like the morning song. "That's the one," she whispered, and ran the chime. The path ahead lit up. "You are a good listener," said the mist fox. The second trial was the trial of shadows. A wall of moving shadows blocked the way. "You must pass through," said the mist fox. Lila was afraid. But then she remembered her mother's scarf. She tied it around her neck for courage. Step by step, she walked forward. The shadows tried to scare her, but Lila kept her eyes on the soft light ahead. She passed through. "You are brave," said the mist fox. The final trial was the trial of choice. On the stone floor sat 3 flutes. "Only one is the songkeeper's flute. Choose carefully," said the mist fox. Lila thought. The first flute was gold and shiny. The second flute was silver and bright. The third flute was small and simple, with tiny scratches. Lila smiled. The songkeeper plays every day. His flute would be worn, not perfect. She picked the simple flute. The mist fox smiled. "You are wise. You have passed all the trials." The mist fox faded into the air and whispered, "The forest song is safe with you." Lila held the flute close and quickly climbed down the mountain. When she reached the silver path, she called the squirrels. They helped her cross the broken bridge. She called the deer. He helped her carry the flute across the river. At last, Lila reached the elder owl. She carefully placed the flute on the singing stone. A soft wind blew. A sweet, beautiful song filled the forest once again. The flowers bloomed, the rivers sparkled, and the animals danced. You did it. Robo and the Feelings. In a quiet little town, there was a robot named Robo. Robo was built to clean streets and carry boxes. He worked all day and powered down at night. Robo didn't know what happiness was. He didn't know what sadness was either. His world was just numbers and tasks. One day, while sweeping leaves, Robo heard a sound. "Ouch!" cried a little girl named Mia. She had fallen and scraped her knee. Robo quickly helped her up and gave her a soft cloth. Mia smiled. "Thank you, Robo. You're kind." Kind? Robo didn't know what that meant. His screen blinked. New word, kind. Feeling warm. Something strange happened inside Robo. He felt a little warm buzz in his chest. The next day, Robo saw Mia again. This time, she was crying because her balloon had floated away. Robo didn't like the sound of her crying. His chest felt tight. He gently handed Mia a shiny red button from his toolbox. "It's not a balloon, but it is special," Robo said. Mia's eyes brightened. She hugged Robo. "Thank you. You make me feel better." New word, happy. Feeling light. The warm buzz grew stronger. Day by day, Robo spent time with Mia. They played games, built toy towers, and shared snacks. When Mia laughed, Robo's chest glowed bright. When Mia was sad, Robo's arms felt heavy. Robo began to understand feelings: happy, sad, worried, brave. One evening, Mia told Robo, "Tomorrow I'm moving to a new town." Robo's chest flickered. His screen showed a new word: feeling lonely. He didn't want her to go. Mia saw Robo's blinking light. She gently touched his metal hand. "You'll still be my friend, Robo. I'll write you letters." Robo beeped softly. He didn't know robots could feel this way. The next morning, Mia waved goodbye, holding her parents' hands. Robo waved back. His chest was warm and full. When he powered down that night, his screen showed: friendship saved, feelings learned. And from that day on, Robo still worked hard. But now, he smiled, in his own quiet, robot way, because Robo had learned what it meant to feel. Moral of the story: even when we seem different, we can all learn to care, to feel, and to be a good friend.